Good afternoon. Welcome to our annual meeting, awards and recognition program.
Talk to you right now, Gene. I'm on a video.
Because everybody should be muted. Okay. Today we are honoring some very special people whose compassion and dedication have given so much to the individuals with intellectual and developmental disabilities and their families. Without individuals like the ones you're about to meet, the lives of our loved ones would be very different. Anyone can be an advocate, but not everyone can be a great advocate. To be a great advocate, you must have compassion. You must have the willingness to listen and to learn. And you must be willing to work hard and long, knowing that success takes time and energy. This afternoon, we are honoring two very special legislators, a self-advocate who has demonstrated outstanding leadership, and a volunteer who has spent decades advocating for the rights of individuals with developmental disabilities and their families, all so deserving of recognition. I would now like to introduce the ARC New York's Director of Governmental Affairs, Philip Hayden, to begin our recognition. Philip?
Thanks, Jack. Good afternoon, everyone. As Jack said, I'm Philip Adinian, the Director of Governmental Affairs for the ARC New York. And it is my great privilege to introduce Assemblyman Thomas Avenatti, Chairman of the Assembly Standing Committee on People with Disabilities, and Senator John Mannion, Chairman of the Senate Standing Committee on Disabilities, who are here today to be recognized as the ARC New York's 2022 Legislative Champions. As chairman of their respective committees, they have demonstrated exceptional leadership and dedication to people with intellectual and other disabilities by advancing and passing key pieces of legislation, securing historic funding, and being a vocal advocate at rallies, public hearings, in the press, and within their own conferences. They have forever enhanced the lives of people with disabilities. For too long, people with disabilities have struggled to be seen and treated as a policy priority. Despite this challenge, they have never wavered from the belief that people with IDD deserve the ordinary and extraordinary opportunities of life. Some notable legislative achievements signed into law this year include securing a 5.4% cost of living adjustment in this year's budget, and this is greater than in the preceding 10 years combined. There are updates to New York's Preferred Source program, which enhances employment opportunities for people with disabilities, establishment of a training and certification program for employers that have taken the OPWDD employability pledge, the creation of a supported decision-making framework, establishing a public awareness campaign to combat the stigma of stereotyping people with IDD, and also the elimination of references to MR and mentally ill in social services law and replaces them with more appropriate and non-offensive terms. There's still more work to be done in that area, but it is a huge start. Their commitment to positive change will continue to be felt well into the future. It is for these reasons and more that we have the great pleasure to recognize Assemblyman Avenatti and Senator Mannion as the ARC New York's 2022 Legislative Champions, in gratitude for their outstanding work fighting for people with disabilities in New York State. We have asked that they say a few words, and we will start with Assemblyman Avenatti.
Thank you very much. I'm really moved by the honor that you give both of us today. It's particularly meaningful to me because I see ARC as the top of the sector profession. You have a reputation, a well-deserved reputation for doing the right thing for people, for being out there for people. And so I'm really honored to be honored by you. Your professionalism, your caring has always impressed me. I do have a personal connection, so I did get to see the great work that you do. My wife was the president of the Putnam ARC many years ago. She worked on the board of the Westchester ARC when we got married, and she moved from Putnam to Westchester. And she actually helped build a home for her son, who had a very serious total disability. So I've seen the great work that ARC does for people. I want to thank you for this beautiful, I don't know if you can see it, the beautiful award that you've given me. It was so nice that my wife opened the box and she says, "What's this?" And she immediately put it in the living room. And I will tell you, on occasion over the years, I have been in government for many years, and she's never done that before. So this one is really beautiful. This one is special. And it kind of symbolizes the way I feel towards the honor you're giving me today. I want to comment about John Mannion. Senator Mannion has been a great partner. He deserves the award today also. He's new to the legislature, but he jumped right in, and he's made it work for people with disabilities. So I really want to compliment him, and I think he's well deserving of your award. You did say that I could have a few minutes to say something. I will try very hard to be brief, but you know, those of you who know me know I'm a policy wonk, particularly about those subjects that I really care about. And I've really gotten into the disability field. I do have a son who's 22 years old, who has autism, probably in the middle of the spectrum. And so I've seen the good, the bad, and the ugly, so to speak, of what's going on in the disability field. But we're in a very strange times. We're dealing with a lot of uncertainty everywhere. Just look at the stock market. Just talk to anybody on the street. You know, we don't know what's happening. There was a pandemic. Is it over? Is it not over? Prices are going up. They're skyrocketing. It's other things. It's it's very significant uncertainty. But at the same time, families have come to expect that their family members will have the opportunity, as you just said so aptly, for the ordinary and extraordinary opportunities to have a good quality life. They've come to take that mantra from OPWDD very seriously, you know, person-centered. And that puts a great strain on the system. And yet, as a family member, that's what I want for my son. I want him to be able to develop, to use the skills that he has, and to help overcome the challenges and the disabilities that he has, and to lead a good life. When I'm gone, when I'm not here anymore, I don't want his life to deteriorate. He's lived a middle-class life, and he's out right now at a car wash with an aide, you know, working. And he's only got an hour, but it's a step in the right direction. And he gets a very busy week. So I'm looking for a system that's going to survive me and keep his quality of life at a level where it is now. Now, that's a major challenge to the ARCs of the world. That's a very significant challenge. How do you do that in a person-centered approach? How do we get the resources? And we all know the challenges. There's a significant staffing shortage, but we don't seem to be confronting it. All we do is wring our hands. We're never going to outcompete private sector. We're never going to steal people from the private sector. They have so many more resources than we do. So what do? We've got to develop new ways, new sources of labor. We might have to have internship programs. We might have to get special permission from the federal government so that those immigrants who are here, who are begging for work, can work in our sector. But we need to be imaginative. And it's going to fall on the arcs of the world to come up with the ways that we do this. And housing, you know, the approach of certified housing has worked for so many for so long. But there's so many now that don't want that and for whom it's not appropriate. And I frankly don't see OPWDD walking down the road hand in hand with you, developing new ways to house people that's appropriate. And I think they really have to. And you're going to have to continue doing what you've been doing so well for a long period of time, but you're also going to have to come up with new ways of housing people. And we're going to be looking to you to pick those, to come up with those different types of non-certified housing. And that's a challenge that you have started to deal with, but it's not what you've done traditionally. But I have confidence that your organization can do it. And then we're talking about meaningful daytime activities. There's so many people who want to work. There's such a need for workers out there, but we have yet to find the way to get the large number there. You had some programs, sheltered workshops, et cetera. I'm a big proponent of sheltered workshops. And I know there's a big debate, even in your own in New York ARC, as to whether we should have them or not. But my feeling is there's got to be this spectrum of opportunities for people. And those who can work in the private sector need to be supported. And those who can't need the opportunity to do something meaningful. And again, that's another challenge that's confronting us right now. And lastly, we know that there's going to be circumstances where there's going to be a crisis. We're dealing with people whose disabilities are such that when they're confronted with a challenge that's beyond their abilities at the moment, some of them react and they need a crisis response. And the state of New York talks about it, but really has not yet come back with enough of a response. Crisis response means 15 minutes. It doesn't mean 2 days. It means having professionals out there that you can call upon, because you can't be expected to have all of the professionals that you need. And you may have people in uncertified housing and they need a response. So crisis response is something we really have to deal with. Now, I've laid out all of the challenges that we have, but I don't want that to diminish what we've accomplished. I think we have accomplished a lot over the last year and over the last couple of years. And you all have done a great job for so many years. But that just demonstrates to me that I look to, that my faith in you is in dealing with the future challenges is well placed. So I take this award, I'm very moved by it. Let me just say that. And I want to thank you very much for it. It's beautiful. I don't know if you could all see it. I'll show you all again. And I thank you very much for it. And I look forward to working with you in the future. I'm not going to be in the legislature come January, but I'm not going to go disappear. I'm going to continue to work with so many of the people in the field, and I look forward to working with all of you as we move forward. Thank you.
Great, wonderful. Thank you, Assemblyman Avenatti, for those words and the encouragement as well. And we thank you for everything you have done for the field and everything that you will do. So, Senator Mannion, do you have a few words? You're muted.
There we go. Thank you. Thank you, Philip. Thank you, everybody. Good afternoon. I'm John Mannion from Syracuse and chairman of the Senate Disabilities Committee. And I have to say, as a Syracusean here, the football team is 5-0. It's Friday. We have a game tomorrow, and I couldn't help but wear the colors, which I think go along with your colors a little bit there too. So I have to take a minute to thank Assemblyman Tom Avenatti. I think everybody across the screen here knows that there's no way he will disappear, and certainly his legacy will never disappear, because he changed lives, he transformed lives, he improved lives because of the work, his unrelenting work to make sure that people with disabilities truly are treated with dignity, truly have access and opportunity. And I'm proud to share this award with him. It is a beautiful award. He really deserves a big chunk of this award, but I'm not going to break any of it off for him. It'll have to be figuratively. But to say he was a mentor to me is not enough. No one taught me more about the disabilities world than Tom Avenatti, and I'll use his phrasing, the good, the bad, and the ugly. He did. And he knows his policy inside and out, and all of the things that he has done over the years and then taught me has made me certainly a better legislator, and honestly a better person, and 100% a stronger advocate. And I don't receive an award like this without his partnership and mentorship and leadership and friendship. So, with that, I want to thank everybody across the screen for this honor and for all the work that you do, particularly to the staff for providing supports and services to individuals each and every day. And, it's great to see so many folks out there, many familiar faces, and many of you I did not know 2 years ago. So being recognized as a legislative champion for my work and helping families, helping the workers who provide the care means a great deal. Advocacy and the legislative process is certainly a collective effort, and there's many across the screen that have been involved in this for a very long time. We would not be getting the victories that we have won over the past few years without years and years of persistence. This year is 50 years since Geraldo Rivera exposed the horrors of Willowbrook, and 32 years since President H.W. Bush signed the Americans with Disabilities Act into law. These were transformative, seminal, and landmark moments that happened during many of our lifetimes. They're examples of change driven by advocacy and reflections of who we want to be as a society. There's a direct line between those achievements to the work that we're doing today in supporting people with developmental disabilities. This is not a matter of charity, it's a matter of social responsibility, and I'm working across multiple fronts to help people with disabilities reach their fullest potential and live their fullest lives. The ability to enact lasting change rests with all of us, and I believe there's lots that we can do. We can do better in connecting employers to job candidates with disabilities. They make amazing workers, trustworthy and hardworking, great team members. We have to do better because the unemployment rate for people with disabilities is upwards of 70%. And we're in the midst of Disability Employment Awareness Month. So we have to continue to push to highlight. And fortunately, recently, I sponsored legislation that will open the floodgates to job opportunities for people with disabilities. It was signed into law just a short time ago by Governor Hochul and dramatically increases the preferred source program. We have data showing that the economic impact of that program is nearly 300,000 jobs and $14 billion coming out of the work that occurs here. So you'll also see before the end of this year a multi-platform statewide public awareness and anti-stigma campaign that was passed. My legislation and the governor has signed. And we're also working on a new voluntary training and certification program for businesses who want to hire people with disabilities. We can do a lot, we've done a lot, but the number one crisis that we're in the midst of is the workforce crisis in the care delivery system. When we fix
Lost connection, I believe.
Goes up,
Okay, well, we'll see if he's able to reconnect, but in lieu of, thank you, Senator Mannion, for that. And I know there were some other items you wanted to touch on, but again, congratulations to you both, and thank you for your public service. We are really honored to be able to have this sort of partnership and for us to be able to work together. Again, the mantra of this annual meeting is stronger together, and that's not just within the organization, that's with all our partners and stakeholders across every domain. So again, thank you so much and congratulations.
On behalf of the entire organization, I want to thank both Senator Mannion and Assemblyman Avenatti for being with us this afternoon and for the difference their support and advocacy had made to the field. True
And
change.
Senator Mannion is back. Maybe we can hear the rest of his comments.
Is he back? I don't see his.
I do. He's there.
Oh, there he is. Yes, continue, Senator.
Thanks, Jack. I just got a computer restart on me that had no warning. So I probably have said enough. I'm sure some people filled in the blanks. I appreciate Assemblyman Avenatti acknowledging me again. I said all the nice things I was going to about him. So if he tried to get my attention again, I don't have any more. But I thank everybody for the work that they do. We live to fight another day, and we have to continue that fight. I know the Assemblyman will be working along with us. There's no way that he won't continue to advocate. We have much work to do, but the victories that we achieve are sweet ones because we're improving people's lives. So thank you all, and I apologize for the interruption, and on with the presentation. Thank you, Jack.
No problem.
You're
Thank you,
both
Senator.
true champions, yes.
Let me just thank Senator Mannion for his kind words, but he also diminishes his own role too much. He has been a very, very strong advocate. And as I said, coming into the Senate, he's new, right? This was your first term, am I correct? And you did a yeoman's job in your first term. And look at all the legislation that passed both houses. That's because you dedicated so much time and effort and learned so much about the field and were able to drive it through the Senate. And many of our colleagues, they're all receptive when we tell them about it, but they want to help. They don't understand, unfortunately, all of the things that we have learned and have to explain to them. And that's what Senator Mannion has done in the Senate. He's done it very well. He's gotten everybody on board. So he deserves more credit than he's taking for himself. But thank you again to all of you.
We did it together, Tom. Thank you.
Well, thank both of you. Thank both of you. I would now like to call on Cheryl Englert, Chairperson of the ARC New York Scholarships and Award Committee, to present our next award. Cheryl? You're muted, Cheryl.
All right, there I go. Now I can talk. It just slows me down. And I want to add my thanks as a parent and volunteer to our legislators for all the work they do for us. We really appreciate it as family members and as volunteers. Good afternoon. I'm Cheryl Englert, Chairperson of the ARC New York Scholarship and Awards Committee. I represent the newly merged ARC GLOW of Western New York on the Board of Governors. Thank you for joining us here today. It is my privilege to present the ARC New York's 2022 Self-Advocate of the Year Award. The Self-Advocate of the Year Award is presented to an individual who has demonstrated leadership, personal growth, and has positively influenced the lives of others. It is one of the most prestigious awards to be presented each year by the ARC New York. I am honored to announce that the 2022 Self-Advocate of the Year is Ed Duryea of the ARC Jefferson St. Lawrence. Ed was selected for a newly developed position when the ARC Jefferson St. Lawrence in 2021, hired as the self-advocate consultant to represent people supported in St. Lawrence County. In this position, Ed regularly communicates with people about agency news, COVID precautions and protocols. He has always been a strong advocate for the rights of people supported, but also brings up issues such as staff vacancies and the need for higher pay. Ed also assists with orientation for new hires and is involved in the chapter's strategic planning work group. He has clearly proven himself to be a wonderful self-advocate and a member of the ARC Jefferson St. Lawrence family. Before presenting this award, we have a short video we'd like to share with you honoring this year's recipient.
When I first came up here into St. Lawrence County, when we were preparing for the merger, Ed was one of the first people that came to me, and he came to me on a regular basis. And he came to me to advocate not only for the people that we support, his peers, but he also came to advocate for issues that were important to staff. And that really caught my eye, and so he was a great advocate. Yeah, so Ed has quite a few roles here at St. Lawrence. He actually is our self-advocate consultant. We hired him last year based on all his interactions previous to that. Ed now provides training to all our staff, new staff. He provides additional training to staff that have been here for a while. He also has been very actively involved in our strategic planning process. He holds regular meetings with the self-advocates. He writes letters to legislators on a regular basis with issues that are important to the organization and to people we support. And he also advocates strongly at the local level with our legislators. So Ed does a variety of things here, does presentations to the board, speaks in public, belongs to a few groups. I believe he's still in the Life Plan group. So very important work that he does here for this organization.
Let's now welcome the ARC New York 2022 Self-Advocate of the Year, Ed Duryea. Joining Mr. Duryea is Mr. Howard Gander, Executive Director, ARC Jefferson St. Lawrence.
Well, Ed and I would like to thank the committee and the ARC of New York for selecting him. This is 2 years in a row for the ARC of Jefferson St. Lawrence. Last year, our Jefferson Self-Advocate was selected, so we're very happy. I met Ed about 5 years ago when I came up to St. Lawrence as we prepared for the merger. And as I mentioned, Ed would come and visit me every time I came up here and talk about issues related to the people we support, talk about physical plan issues around the agency, talk about, more importantly, talk about staff and the need for higher pay, the need for better benefits, and he would go on and on. And so it's kind of role reversal now. I go out and look for Ed and go down to his place and so he can talk about issues. As mentioned, he was very, very instrumental in our strategic plan, which we just developed. His viewpoint was very important to us, and we take his information with great regard. As mentioned, Ed does a variety of things for us. He's a self-advocate consultant that we hired a couple of years ago for St. Lawrence. He organizes self-advocate events up here. He's very active in the community. He participates in a variety of committees here, and he was on the Life Plan family group up here at one time. I don't think he's on that any longer.
I still am.
Okay, you are. He is. I've also impressed with Ed. He would look up and research issues and come down prepared to discuss them. He also would email me letters that he sent to legislators. So we're very, very happy for all he does for the organization, and it is my honor to present Ed with the Self-Advocate of the Year Award. This nice memento here and a check for $500. So I turn it over to you, Ed. Congratulations. Yep. Okay. You want to just do one page at a time?
Thank you for this award. At this time, I want to thank you, a couple people. Howie Ganner. I don't remember.
Megan Boss.
Megan Voss
and Tim Welpe.
will be at this time. Can you read the rest? Because I'm nervous.
Okay, Ed wants me to read for him because he's a little nervous, he said. So he wants to help those staff who've helped him on his journey of advocating for himself and others. He's met so many people that have made a difference in his life and those of others. He's proud he was hired as a self-advocate consultant for the ARC of Jefferson St. Lawrence. He trains new staff, is involved in management meetings, strategic planning, and serves as the chair of our self-advocacy group. He also advocates at the state and federal level by writing letters. He says we need to continue to advocate for staff to be paid a decent salary so we can fill our vacant positions. One thing I'm doing right now is advocating for a stand-up chair so I can speak to people at their eye level, so they pay more attention to me. I attend a lot of meetings and also teach people how to advocate for themselves and work with people on how to support others. I want to thank you very much for this recognition. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
On behalf of the entire ARC New York family, we congratulate Ed and thank him for his contributions to making our world a better place for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities. And we also thank all the other self-advocates across the state who do their best every day to help us with our mission. Congratulations. All right. Thank you, Ed. Our next award is a very special award, and it's our ARC of New York 2022 Volunteer of the Year Award. This award is presented to a volunteer in recognition of their continued dedication, service, and advocacy on behalf of people with intellectual and other developmental disabilities. It is one of the highest recognition a person can receive from this organization. Today, we're honoring Judy O'Rourke, a longtime volunteer and friend of the ARC of New York. Judy was one of my mentors when I joined this board many years ago and has set a great example for those of us to have come since. Judy's accomplishments are many. Her years of services spans decades, and her hours spent at committee meetings, Board of Governor meetings, and other ARC events that are more than one can count. Volunteerism has been a part of Judy's life for well over 50 years, primarily in the IDD world, but also in other aspects of her life. When her daughter Kathleen was born and diagnosed with mental retardation and other conditions, Judy became a staunch advocate for her daughter, and advocacy for one grew to include many others. Working through the system that lacked services led Judy down some very windy and bumpy roads, but both she and Katie prevailed. Judy became very involved in protecting the rights of individuals with IDD. Initially, Judy served on the Individual Rights Committee at the West Seneca Developmental Center and authored a booklet for parents about their rights and those of their children. She was very active at the Developmental Center and participated on the Incident Review Committee, advocating for the individuals living at the institution. She served both on her local school board district and the DDSO's Committees on Special Education. Joining the West Seneca Developmental Center chapter, Judy served in many capacities. She guided the chapter and developed a sound and respected working relationship with the administration of the local DDSO, with the chapter becoming the surrogate for many individuals without family. Judy currently serves as the chapter president. Her chapter board members describe Judy as the glue that helped keep the chapter active and viable, and one in which they continue to rely on for her unique ability to work with OPWDD personnel to resolve the many issues that confront facilities and individuals with IDD. Before we present the 2022 Volunteer of the Year Award to Judy, we'd like to share a video with you.
Judy, today I have the honor and the privilege to name you as the ARC New York's Volunteer of the Year. We look at your accomplishments, your work on the board, your chairmanship of various committees, your unending advocacy. What a legacy you've created. The choice for the award this year was an easy one. It's given to someone who over the years exemplifies what we're all about, stronger together. Judy, thank you for your service.
Hi, Judy. Congratulations on being this year's recipient of the ARC New York Volunteer of the Year Award. As a previous recipient of this award, I can tell you, I know what an honor it is. Your dedication to the DC chapters, your involvement with OPWDD, ensuring the rights of families and the individuals supported is exemplary. Judy, you are an integral part of the ARC New York. Your willingness to serve and assist on committees, your knowledge, and your advocacy has touched the lives of many. I want to personally thank you for your continued support, remembering our past and working to a better future. Again, I want to congratulate you on this well-deserved award and your years of service and dedication to the ARC of New York.
Hi, Judy. Congratulations on being nominated Volunteer of the Year 2022. You are truly an inspiration to us all. Your dedication and hard work has surely paid off. You've helped us all through many a tough time, especially in all of our works regarding the Advocacy and Oversight Committee. On behalf of the Bronx Developmental Center, congratulations.
Hi, Judy. I'm thrilled that you are receiving the 2022 ARC New York Volunteer of the Year Award, and I can't think of anyone more deserving. They say volunteers just don't give their time, they have heart. And Judy, you exemplify this by your commitment and your service to numerous committees you have either chaired or served on through the years. And I think the work most dear to you has been as chair for the Advocacy and Oversight Committee for state-operated programs, or the DC Committee. You've been such a strong voice for the often forgotten individuals residing in state-operated homes, both on the state and local levels. Judy, you just didn't devote your time. You have voluntarily chosen to commit yourself to fight for the rights and quality of life for all people with IDD. It's a privilege serving under your leadership. I know everyone at the ARC New York appreciates everything you've done. I applaud you. Thank you, Judy, and congratulations on receiving this award.
Judy, congratulations on this amazing honor. Your award for Volunteer of the Year is so deserving. I can't even mention all the activities you've been involved with over the years, but from DC committee to the annual meeting planning to strategic planning efforts, advocacy efforts, so many more. So you are demonstrating at every level the family leadership that is the basis and foundation of this organization. And I can think of no one more deserving for this honor. Congratulations, and again, well done.
I'd now like to introduce Ellen Owens to give some remarks. Ellen being the other half of the dynamic duo of Judy and Ellen that I've known throughout the years.
Thank you. It was with great pleasure that I had the honor to nominate Judy for the Volunteer Year Award. Judy has been a selfless volunteer and champion for individuals with IDD for over 50 years. Her tireless efforts on behalf of her daughter, Katie, and countless other individuals is truly amazing. Judy was a founding member of the West Seneca chapter of the ARC, and she continues to be a fierce spokeswoman for our causes. I think Judy served in every role on our board, including being president for 12 years. Her heartfelt empathy when dealing with families has been a hallmark of her advocacy. Judy's ability to work with the bureaucracy of OPWDD earned her the reputation of an advocate who pushed the system to do what is right. Her insights as a parent of a child with IDD proved invaluable when she became ombudsman at the West Seneca DC chapter. The quality of life of many residents were elevated because of her endeavors and commitment to improve the conditions and services, not only at the DC, but throughout the DDSO. Oh, sorry. My hope is others will walk in your footsteps, Judy, and emulate your perseverance. From everyone who was touched by your relentless efforts, I extend our sincere thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Ellen. Now we'll have some remarks from Laura Kennedy.
Sorry about that. I love the Judy and Ellen.
Oh, you're muted. You're muted, Laura.
Okay, how's that?
Okay.
Sorry. Judy, the accolades that you have just received are well-deserved. I've had the great privilege of working and knowing you for the last 18 years at the ARC New York. You have been an effective advocate throughout your many years of service, not only on many committees of the ARC, but through your interactions with outside agencies, and you continue those efforts today. The reason you're so effective is because of the manner in which you communicate and share your ideas and concerns. You're always a voice of reason. The tone of your voice and the deep respect for others and their opinions as sensitive issues are discussed has been your strength. You bring knowledge, experience, and kindness to the table, and you are never afraid to make your opinions heard when you feel strongly about an issue. You weigh in carefully during discussions in a way that doesn't offend others. You always work in the spirit of building clarity and consensus. And I'm grateful for what I've learned for you over the years. You have brought great value to the governing board with your honesty, integrity, sensitivity, empathy, and thoughtfulness. Judy, wear your new diamond pin with pride. We are all proud of your work. And I know I speak for the entire ARC community in saying, thank you, Judy.
Thank you, Laura. Okay, Judy, the floor is yours.
Oh, I'm overwhelmed. Thank you, everyone, so much. Laura, Ellen, everyone who made remarks in the video. The video was incredible. I want to thank my chapter, the West Seneca Developmental Center chapter, for nominating me for this award, and also the Scholarship and Awards Committee for selecting me to be this year's recipient. Congratulations to Ed and his award, and Senator Mannion and Assemblyman Abenati also. I was presented the beautiful sculpture, which I have here to show you all today. I hope you all can see it. It is absolutely gorgeous. I treasure it, and it will be in a place of honor in my home. And my pin, I'm wearing it now, Laura. I was presented these by Ellen at my home when a number of my family members were able to be present. It was a very special moment to receive this award with my family in attendance, as they were along on the advocacy and volunteer journey with Katie and me. Over the years, so many people have come into my life that helped me see the sunshine when I was only seeing the clouds. And to all of them, I owe my appreciation and love. If it was not for all that support, it might have not have been possible for me to travel the road that I did. The road was not always smooth, but along this journey, I've met wonderful, dedicated people. And it is important to recognize the love that prompted the efforts of parents, advocates, and staff. The time and hard work they contributed to gaining the benefits for individuals with intellectual and other developmental disabilities that were not there 56 years ago when my daughter Katie was born. It has been and continues to be a journey of my heart. The lack of services for Katie and many others whose needs were so great, the developmental centers were the only providers of service who could possibly meet their difficult and challenging needs. All the advocacy challenges, the confrontations that were faced in order to make those facilities better places, and finally to close them is beyond measure. The people who went before were valiant fighters for those individuals living in DCs, and they continue to watch over state operations today. I think about the years of advocating for Katie and others and wonder about the impact, but it simply was one step at a time, hand in hand with other volunteers and advocates, struggling for the rights she and others are entitled to, recognizing and working to rectify the injustices, the lack of services programmatically, residentially, educationally, and medically. One person, one family at a time, with every step forward, a step to achieving something better, not only for Katie, but for all the sons and daughters with IDD, advocating for a good quality of life, free from abuse and negligence, and open to new horizons, respected and welcomed in society. We are still trying to achieve those goals today, and the fight continues, but we will do it one step at a time. I once read an anonymous quote that really gave me great thought about what I was doing. The quote goes, "I am thankful for my struggles because without them, I would not have stumbled and upon my strength and found my strength. And I often stumbled. My admiration for this organization and the families and staff go beyond my ability to describe." I'll leave you with a quote from JFK. "We must find the time to stop and thank the people who make a difference in our lives. And I will add, in the lives of people with IDD. I thank you one and all for your devotion and hard work. I am truly humbled and honored by this recognition. And to all the volunteers out there, keep up the good work. Thank you all and have a good afternoon." Thank you.
Thank you, Judy. Congratulations.
Thank you, Cheryl.
Joined it.
I'm getting applause here too in the background.
Yeah. You joined quite an elite group of the ARC of New York Volunteers of the Year.
Yes, I am.
And you know what? I am a member of that group and I truly appreciate it. So we are all the cream of the cream and we're not going to stop. We're going to keep on going.
Yes, we are, Cheryl.
Thank you.
Thank you all again.
All right. Over the past year, the Scholarship and Awards Group has been working on a new award that will recognize the achievements and contributions of individuals supported by ARC New York chapters who are making a difference in the everyday lives of their peers and their communities. Whether it be the home they share with others, a program they attend, or a wider community cause such as supporting the local food pantry, an animal shelter, getting a new sidewalk with special so wheelchairs can use it. The Outstanding Citizenship Award will allow for greater inclusion and recognition of the many contributions that are made by our individuals who care about the others in their community and those they live with, Beginning in 2023, the Outstanding Citizenship Award will be presented to an individual supported by an ARC New York chapter. This recipient will receive an award in the amount of $500, and with all additional nominees receiving a recognition award of $100. We want to recognize those that do good things every day in their home communities. I would also like to take this opportunity to announce that in honor of our organization's current president, Jack Kowalski, as he entered his 4th and last year of his presidency, the official name of the award will be the Dr. John Kowalski Outstanding Citizenship Award. Jack, we could figure out no better way to honor your service and your dedication as president of the organization, but to pass out an award to folks for being the best they can be in their communities.
Well,
Congratulations, and thank you, Jack, for all you've done for our organization.
no,
Greater recognition than to have a special award named in your honor.
well, thank you very much. Very unexpected and probably not well deserved, but
Very well deserved.
well, thank you. Thank you very much. I really appreciate it.
Right. So everybody should apply, have their self-advocates and community members apply for that next year.
Well,
Congratulations to all of our recipients. I would now like to turn the program back over to Jack for his closing remarks.
well, you've almost left me speechless. I'm not sure what's going to make my voice first. Well, this brings to a close our 2022 annual meeting, and it certainly was on a high note. To our legislative champions, the senator and assemblymen, we can't thank them enough for all they've done. Mr. Duryea, you're leading the way for many that'll follow you. Congratulations. And of course to Judy. Judy, I want to say we're old-time friends, but let's say long-time friends. I've known you as a mentor, as a champion, and well-deserved award. So I'd like to bring this presentation to a close, and I thank you for naming the award after me. And everybody have a nice weekend and be well.
Thank you, everyone, for attending. Have a great weekend.
Bye-bye.